Hey, 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 there we are. We are finally live. It takes an uncomfortably long amount of time between when you press the button to go live on one of these live streams and when it actually happens. So if you ever wonder, if you've never done any live streaming on YouTube before, if you ever wonder why people sit there and stare at the screen for a really long time beforehand, that's why. Because what happens if you just assume is you'll do the entire live stream and actually forget to press all the right buttons. And so you leave everybody waiting for a half an hour or longer, and you're doing the whole live stream by yourself without actually talking to anybody. Not that I've ever had that happen or anything. So anyway, thank you all for joining me this afternoon. If you're watching on the recording, thank you for joining us there as well. The standard, please like and subscribe. We do try to do these as much as we possibly can. As you can tell from our post history, we've been a little busy these past few months, and I'm going to talk about what that's looked like and what you can expect in the future. This is actually the replacement for the live stream that we were supposed to do from TRE at the booth last week. And the reason that we never did that, and the reason that hopefully you didn't wait too long if you were waiting on YouTube for us, is because we were so busy at the booth that nobody was free to actually set the live stream up and press the buttons, which is a great problem to have. We had such a blast hanging out with everybody, had amazing feedback. There have been a lot of new stores coming on the platform. As you know, we've made a lot of platform changes recently, which I'll talk about. And so, meeting you guys for the first time in person was wonderful, and getting the feedback from the community, which is so super duper important to us, was awesome as well. It was nice to just hang out also. But anywho, I apologize for that. I do promise I will be quick today. So let me hit the high notes here. First, you probably heard the news that RICS eCommerce solution is going to be powered by the Run Free project. That rumor is true. We're partnering up to bring you better crossover functionality between Run Free and RICS. Now, this might seem somewhat out of the blue, but there is actually a backstory here. A while back, a bunch of you guys came to us and asked us to build a Run Free point of sale. So we went out and did a bunch of research to see what that might look like, and ultimately the costs associated with building a POS from scratch were significant and too high for it to make sense for anybody, and have confidence in a solution coming out the other side that made any sense whatsoever. Meanwhile, we've had a wonderful and long-lasting relationship with the folks over at RICS since we started the company in 2019. And our teams came together with a list of requirements from both sides and said, hey, how do we converge the POS and e-com functionality? And is it doable? And everyone agreed it was. The team at RICS was kind enough to build a couple proofs of concept for some API functionality that is going to prove to be extremely powerful for you guys. So thank you, team, if you're watching. And you'll hear more about that here in the next couple of weeks, and how that's going to be set up on the Run Free side. But we're definitely bringing you store-specific and inventory-specific location pulls for sales that go through e-commerce, which is an extremely powerful thing, and it brings that convergence together even more. As part of that conversation, we at the Run Free project decided to become a part of the Full Steam portfolio. So for those who don't know, Full Steam is the parent company of RICS, has been for quite some time, and now Full Steam's also the parent company of the Run Free project. So basically, we both have the same mom and dad now. Don't worry, nothing's changing. Nothing has changed. We've retained 100% of our staff as part of the acquisition, and we're all staying in our exact same roles. Unfortunately, you're still stuck with me talking for 3 times longer than I probably need to, and that's life. Among other things, though, Full Steam gives us the backing that we need to not only bring you the converged POS experience that you asked us for, but also the resources to make it happen, and a tighter relationship with the folks over at RICS. And they are the dominant market player when it comes to point of sale systems. We've always had such a wonderful, close working relationship with their team, and it's been really cool to come together in a different way than we had in the past. So you're going to see a lot of really amazing stuff come from us, from both RICS and from Run Free, in each other's direction. So keep your eyes open. You'll hear a lot more about that in the next 30 days. And it's all good stuff. Remember, our goal is to automate as much as possible between the physical and the digital world. And, you know, everybody who works in Run Specialty looks at their systems and processes and says, this should be easier. And our goal is and always will be to make that a reality. Sometimes the virtual is harder to manipulate in the way that you want to than it might seem, but nonetheless, we do and will continue to try. So be on the lookout for that stuff. Second thing, the server upgrade the weekend before Black Friday. Yes, I know it was a terrible idea to do it then, but we wanted to get it done before Black Friday, and sometimes that's just how life works out. Was a rousing success. We're now on a totally different, substantially larger, and super duper awesome infrastructure. And you guys absolutely murdered it Black Friday weekend. So Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, and Cyber Monday were about 10 times larger than the standard activity that we see on the Run Free platform. So this will have been the biggest year yet for that weekend, adjusted for store count, which is a really great sign of things to come. Most of the time that continues through the holiday season, and then of course January gets a little bit quieter, but what we've seen in our time here in the space is that the Black Friday weekend is usually a precursor to what we can expect to see over the next 6 to 8 months. So that's cool. One last piece, I will be writing and publishing an ADA compliance article for the RIA, or with the RIA, I guess, in the next couple of days. You guys have had lots and lots of questions about the Americans with Disabilities Act compliance conversation that was on the RIA email thread. If you're not part of that, be sure to join the RIA. How many times am I going to do this? Be sure to join the RIA. They're great. And keep your eyes open for that. It's a really big deal, and it's oftentimes something that hasn't hit everybody's radar. So we'll go through the good, bad, and the ugly of ADA compliance in that article. You're also going to see more of me in our live streams. We've got some stuff that we'll be publishing about Relay, everybody's favorite topic. ASICS, if you're listening, send us that feed. We're also going to be talking more about the POS convergence, what that means, how that affects stacks, all kinds of other stuff. But the big news is, yes, we have become a part of the Full Steam family. Yes, that lets us and RICS do things more tightly wound together, and that ultimately brings you guys a whole lot of awesome stuff. As always, like and subscribe, and hit us in the chat if you need anything. Thanks for spending time today. This might be the fastest live stream that I've ever done. I feel like I have to waste a bunch of time now. Yes, this is the only shirt that I own. So, yeah, just kidding. Thanks, everyone. See you next time.